minutes we got left before we chat. Grab your coffee, find your seat. Cowbells are ringing, that's our cue. Gonna share our thoughts with you. Laugh and gossip, spit in tea. Little secrets between you and me. Countdown ticking, let's get real. Heart to heart, it's how we feel. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all those tears. Snap a pic of what we wear. Brush our hair, let down our care. Conversations never lie in this moment with you and I. Clock is ticking, here we go. Words like rivers start to flow. Tune your ears and hear the beat. Girl talks makes our time so sweet. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all our tears. Clock is ticking, here we go. Words like rivers start to flow. Tune your ears and hear the beat. Girl talks makes our time so sweet. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all our tears.
Morning, y'all. It's 5 minutes and 30 seconds before Girl Talk starts, so you have just enough time to grab yourself a cup of coffee and get in a comfy seat. We'll see you soon.
Catch Girl Talks every day. Follow socials, here's the way.
GURLTAUX, every platform come to play. Catch our vibe, don't delay.
Facebook, YouTube streams. Scrolling through your daily memes. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talk is all about. Keeping it real, it's what we do. So tune in now and join our crew. Lights moving through the screen. Click subscribe, don't be me. Upbeat chatter, it's our routine. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. Update stories, laugh and cry. It's Girl Talk, so don't question why. It's the show that you'll adore. Come back daily to get some more. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX, log in now, watch our show. Likes and comments, let them flow. Every day we're on our way. Girl Talk Show is walking down this road tonight, talking about the things we fight. Addiction knocking at my door. E&T wants so much more. We walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, together we'll move along. Searching for a brighter day, holding tight along the way. Sobriety is a steep climb, D&T winning every time. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, D&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, D&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, D&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, D&T bringing all of you along.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody this morning? Is everybody doing good?
I'm good.
Oh, it's just the Tori show today.
Again?
Yeah.
Just the Tori show?
Well, it's not the other ones. I just forgot to switch the cameras over to the multi-camera. There we go. Now it's everybody.
Hi, everybody's here. That's Amanda.
Except for Amanda. We don't know where Amanda is. She hasn't answered, has she? I think she.
I didn't message her.
I think she had something today.
I did message, but I think she had something today.
I do too. I think
And-
the boys had a
I think that
Dentist appointment?
dentist appointment or something.
yeah, there was something. I remember.
We sent so many texts, it's hard to go back and see.
yeah.
Yeah. We're constantly sharing things.
Yeah. Well, maybe those we need to put into a schedule.
Yeah.
I
That
don't-
planner that sits beside me every day, I might want to write something in that. There one comes with my phone also.
I like those things, but do I use them?
No. I do. I like my plan. I've gotten bad about it in the last little bit, but
I used to be religious about it, but
But yeah, me too. Like I had to check my planner. Like it was in my planner, and I've gotten to where I don't. But
yeah,
I need to get back to that.
I
because
forget to even put it.
I'm
and
forgetting things.
It is so much easier today because it can be right on your phone.
Yeah.
I don't do well with my phone. I did better with writing it up
Me too.
in a planner.
I did better having. I'm still old school.
Yes.
So I just started a new journal,
I just bought a new journal.
and this one is dedicated to the AMBO
Okay.
and are from the start to the end of how that's going to go. So I started writing it the other day. It took me 4 pages just to get to the part where I was in the ambulance. Like after I fell.
Oh, God.
It took 4 pages.
Gotcha.
Amanda's on her way.
Okay.
So she's going to be running in like a lightning bolt.
Yeah, she's gonna do a flash booty across the screen.
Yeah.
Just make sure she twerks again.
We'll make her twerk. We will.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on my way to the kiddos' doctor's appointment. I'll tune in as soon as I can.
Oh,
so it was
so
doctor's
she was
appointment.
on her way to a doctor.
Yes.
Okay, at least we had it half right.
Yes. Yes.
But what was I saying? I
My dog
didn't,
is cheating
Amanda.
on me
I forgot.
with Alicia again this
Yeah,
morning.
of course he is.
He's my bestie.
I know. In the mornings, so like I put my makeup on and whatever, and I do that sitting in my recliner, and he always lays in my lap, and he's out cold still, and I'm like, okay, we got to get up, and he turns and he looks at me. I'm like, we got to go see Alicia and Tori and Amanda, and he's like,
I have to tell you something funny. So, and it's nothing negative against Cash or anything, but he piddled in the kitchen the other day on his way out.
I
And
watch him pretty close.
that's not what this. I think it's adorable. It's funny. It was just a tiny little bit. So he must have been holding it, and he's like, okay. But that's not how I found it. I found it because both the dogs, every time
straight to
you
it.
leave,
Yeah.
they run around and they sniff, and they both got to it and growled at it. They were like,
That's not like you.
I'm like, why are you growling at? No, I think he just because it was like such a small amount. He didn't try to pee.
Okay. Oh,
No,
okay. He
no.
was probably trying to hold it till
He
he
was
got
probably
out.
trying
and-
to hold it because it was such a
Or something
small,
scared him real quick.
or something scared him real.
Yeah.
Maybe the
dogs
because it
may
was
have barked.
not. It was not that far from the bedroom.
This morning when they barked, we were walking by and he kind of went. I swear he kind of went. Like, can't get me.
So it could have been. You're right. You're right. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
They probably barked and he went.
I bet.
But when
The big growled at it.
But
That's
when
funny.
the dogs came out and found it, because that's how I found it, and that's how I knew it wasn't like he intentionally peed,
Yeah.
because it would have been more.
Yeah. Because he usually does every day when we go out and go into
Yeah,
the car
goes right
when we
away.
leave.
Yeah. But
Yeah. I'm talking about you. Quit
and I
giving me a
knew
memo.
it was absolutely not an intentional thing.
Yeah.
because it was so small.
Yes.
It was like the amount that little bear would do, like that much.
Yeah.
So that is not an intentional pee.
No.
You scared the piss
You
out of
scared
me.
me.
And
poor
and that's probably what it
Oh,
was.
He's okay.
But the fact that they found the smell
was-
and they both just stopped and
Yeah.
they like heads down staring at it and growled at it. And I was like
At the pee.
I was
at the pee.
I was
At the
dog
pee
sitting two dogs from two different families. One of them was like a puppy, right? And one of them was not an older dog, but a mature dog or whatever. And I kept finding pee everywhere, like in my house. And like, I'm not like beating the puppy, but I'm getting on to the puppy. Like, let me know, like, let me know you got to go out. Like, I'm tired of cleaning up pee. It wasn't the puppy. It was the older dog.
Oh.
And I caught him one morning. I'd let them out. I've got a door off in my bedroom, so I had let them out, to go pee after sleeping all night. And that dog came back in and hiked its leg right in front of me and peed on.
He was marking his territory.
But wait. He peed on my bed skirt. Then he peed in the corner of my bedroom. Then he peed by the two doors coming down my hallway. Then he peed on the couch, both ends, and went and peed on over by my island in my kitchen.
He was pissed off. He was mad that they left him, or he was
And looked right at me every time he did it.
like, you ain't my mama.
And
You aren't my real mom.
and when the dad came to pick it up, I swear this dad knew because he sat down and he looked and he was like, "So did he do anything?" And I was like, "Yeah."
He peed all over my
He
house.
peed all over my house. I've spent this whole time cleaning up pee. He said, "So I guess you won't let him come back." No, not keeping your dog again. Like, because that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to keep other dogs, I've now got to clean my couch. Yeah, I've got to clean.
Well, because
clean carpets.
that's gonna attract another dog to do it.
To do it.
because,
It was a lot of expense to me, and I got no tip, no nothing
and it's
from them.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Yay!
But the way he sat
That's
down,
awful.
and
He already
and
knew
he
that
already
that
knew
dog
that
was
his
gonna
dog
do
did
that.
that. Yeah. Yeah, and I was like,
Well, we do
Dirt.
have a little problem with Bear upstairs. Bear likes to
Mark.
no, he just doesn't like to go outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the size of your hand.
I know he's little. So he wears a diaper.
Yeah.
We have him in diapers. Like she's even got the Munchkin diaper pail, and they go in there, and then I bring them downstairs and wash them. But yeah, he will pee, and he's been going outside better, but he still doesn't like to go outside. So
And doesn't like to use a pee pad.
well, we have big.
He doesn't like to use a pee pad.
We have big, giant, washable ones. So we have 2 sets, and there's like 2 big round ones, a big, huge rectangle one, and a smaller one. I don't remember how many there are. There's like 4 or 5.
He thinks Alicia has treats and Alicia has cough drops.
I've got treats right here. You can.
He don't want no treats.
He
wants
might.
my paper.
He might take it from you. I don't know. He won't take it from us. He wants.
Strange. He's a strange
He
puppy.
loves Alicia though. She
does
is the
love
dog
her.
whisperer.
Yes.
Like my dog Jethro that barks at everyone doesn't bark at her.
Doesn't bark at her. Okay.
He did
No.
take it.
Our friend Josh
he did.
comes came all the time when he was still here before he went to Germany. Hi Josh, if you're watching, or if you get this on the replay, because he's probably not watching from Germany right now. But
It's like, what time is it in Germany? It's
I don't know.
He may be asleep.
Every single time he came, they still barked at him. Jethro still chased him down and barked at him. Loves him to death. But Jethro does that to everyone. If the girls would walk upstairs, we knew they were upstairs because Jethro already announced it. If I walk into the bedroom, Jethro announces it. So it's like, but Alicia, now he does bark when she comes through the front door when he's not with me.
But that's just
Because
somebody
he hears
coming
the
through.
front door.
It's
But
the
as,
noise.
as soon as he sees Alicia, he's like, "Oh, it's just you." Hi.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyway,
He's so
we have all the
sweet.
pee pads upstairs, so I wash those when I clean upstairs, and he poops too.
In the diapers or in the poop
No,
bags?
because they go around the middle. Because he's a boy, so it goes around the middle. And even the girl ones leave a hole for the tail so they can still
Yeah.
poop. But the problem is then they poop half on the diaper and half out the diaper. Yeah, so you really don't want a dog that poops with those kind of diapers on. But he goes on the pads at least.
Okay,
When
yeah.
pee, not really. If his diaper is off, he'll pee kind of wherever. But the poop he does pretty much on the pads. And to be frankly honest with you, anytime that it comes to a dog, I would much prefer if they have accidents with the poop more than the pee.
Yeah.
Because they're easy unless you
is-
step on it.
It is. Yeah. It is
or
easier to clean up.
your vacuum
Yeah.
runs over it.
Oh, I had friends that
Oh,
that,
that happened to me.
the robotic vacuum that I can't think of the name of it. Mine's called Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, mine's what was that one?
There's
called?
ran during the day while
Mine's
they
Rosie, but
during the day while they were gone to work. It was programmed to run, and their dog had gotten sick and had an accident, and the vacuum ran. They just threw that vacuum away.
you know what? I didn't. Well, for one, it was really expensive, so no, I did not. I tore that thing all apart and scrubbed it
Did
and
it
cleaned
fling
it out.
diarrhea everywhere?
And
gosh.
it was in every crevice
Oh,
of the
no.
machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh no, my God! Oh, so I had a dog sitter that I don't know how our shows keep going into poop,
Poop.
but they go into poop. I had something on the front door, on the door. I need to go. Alicia, will you go get it? It's hanging on the doorknob of our door to the studio upstairs.
Sure.
You'll know exactly what I'm
She's
talking
quick-
about.
she's quicker than me.
As soon as you see it, you'll know why I am saying this. But anyway, I had a house sitter that was dog sitting for me. And my one dog, which I was really upset that he didn't call me and tell me that Chance was so sick. Do you remember do you remember a number of years ago when there was dog food that was poisoned and it was coming
Yeah.
from China?
Cash, you saw her go upstairs.
And
It is a squirrel mask.
it's so when we squirrel, I can go squirrel.
I got a big butt, man.
Just said he'll move.
But anyway, my dog got really, really sick and apparently like shat out his ass like everywhere. Just a big giant. He tried to clean it up with my vacuum.
Oh, no.
Like actually, like this was not an electronic vacuum that got it by accident. This dude actually vacuumed, trying to vacuum it up, which one destroyed my vacuum and two moved it all over the floor.
Yeah.
And no cleaning solution, no like trying to get it up beforehand, just vacuum that shit
This
up.
was on my friends'
And it was
baseboards.
everywhere.
It was on their walls. It was everywhere.
Oh, no.
Hey, why don't you guys take over for a second?
Okay.
Show.
When he put me on the spot, I'm like, what was our topic again? Because it was not dog poop.
Something about change.
Change.
And if you can get with it or not.
Oh, because before we was talking about like NASCAR and Aunt Jemima. Different things that have changed.
There's
So-
been a lot.
There's been a lot. Yeah. The Aunt Jemima, I'm like you. That just bothers me because that's just stupid. And now her family gets nothing.
I know.
Her family did get royalties and now they get nothing.
I never ever looked at the bottle being in her or the picture of her as being a suppressed black woman. I thought it was empowering.
Yeah.
Look what she did in a time when you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Especially being a woman.
Being
And
a
then
woman.
Bam.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed it. What are we talking
We
about?
went back to,
Aunt Jemima.
we started talking about Aunt Jemima.
Oh, okay,
We got
like
off
change
poop.
and how we handle it. Okay.
Yeah. We tried
That-
to get on subject. Yeah.
Well, to start with, I'm Tori. I'm your host of your show, and you know all about me. Well, whatever. You'll figure it out. That's Greta. That's Alicia.
Hi.
And that's
Hi.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Hi, Mandy.
Oh, I mean
no,
Cash.
not
And that's Cash.
Hi, Cash. Cash is such a happy guy. But yeah.
He's our only boy on Girl Talks.
So we're talking about change, and so you guys brought up the Aunt Jemima to start with.
Yeah. That her family doesn't get royalties because they had to change that. Like,
Well, I think when you're erasing powerful black people who have done some great things, it's just like the Redskins. You remove the Redskins on.
and they were mad.
But
I mean,
it's-
the Indians, legit Indians were mad about that too.
But it's the thing. The thing is it's virtue signaling, and most of this is coming from white people. These white people that are standing up virtual signaling, you can't do this because it's racist, is racist.
yeah.
The people who are claiming we're all racist and that's racist and that's racist, ask the people who are being affected by it. And they're the ones saying that's racist.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was I was listening to the other day, but they were talking about how this person came into the place and this other person was talking about her housekeeper or something, and immigration or illegal and legal immigration. They were just talking about immigration or something, and this virtual signaling friend who was a Democrat or a liberal, crazy liberal, she goes, "Shh, you need to watch what you're saying because you're probably gonna offend our server." And she's like, "Do you know you automatically assuming she's illegal alien is racist?"
It's racist. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Like that's not that's racist.
Racist. Yeah.
Knocking down statues and getting rid of history.
It's just stupid because history repeats itself, so we need to learn from it.
Right. We're supposed to learn from it and understand it. And just because something was of the norm at the time it happened, back in the day, back in the Roman days, they had slaves.
Yeah.
They were taken and they had to fight to defend themselves to get out of it. If they won so many or whatever, what's that called? Gladiators. Now you watch movies about gladiators and they were the heroes of it. No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
Right.
They were enslaved and half of them, it was because their children were taken and they were willing to fight to get their children out.
Yeah.
Many of them, the gladiators themselves, were not the ones that were being held. It was their children or their wives that they were holding to force them to fight. Hello.
Yeah.
Now we glorify that. All the stuff that people do today, somebody down the line might be like, well, that was bad. Well, I just did it because everyone else was doing it. No, that does not mean it's okay to just join the crowd and follow the leaders and, not be outside the box. I'm
Right.
guilty of it. I have a fucking Stanley.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have a dupe.
I bought. I did buy mine off. Well, not technically marketplace. It was a friend that was getting rid of hers. So,
This is
Well,
from
my
Temu.
husband did get me mine as a gift.
but I
for
do like
Valentine's
it
or
because
whatever.
it does float in my pool. It legit. You have to have ice in it. Like I have figured out, if you don't put ice in it, it will not. But if you'll put ice in it, it will. You legit can let go of it, and it will float around the pool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so there's
Interesting.
the
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I saw a TikTok that people were saying it did, and I was like, and then my friend had one for sale, and I was like, well, I think I need that because I want to see if it floats because that would be handy when you're cleaning the pool.
Right.
supposedly the reason why the Stanley got so popular and like went viral.
I remember my granddaddy having a Stanley,
the Stanley
thermos.
I had a
Yeah.
big Stanley thermos.
I think we
years
have
ago.
one or two of those.
Yeah.
But I guess the reason why is because there was these TikTok girls or whatever that were always like, the TikTok moms. I don't remember what they're called, but anyway, they take their Stanley and
Yeah.
it's time to go, and they get their stuff. So people were watching that.
Oh yeah.
And then the one girl who did a TikTok supposedly about her car catching fire and her
And the
car burnt
Stanley-
down and
But
the
her
Stanley
Stanley
was
didn't.
fine and it's still okay. I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit. 1,000% bullshit on that one.
Well, we know the lid's gonna melt, but the cup
It did
may-
not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that too because the
uh,
lid's gonna melt. If your car melted, the lid's gonna melt.
Therefore, the ice inside would be gone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It would probably be empty and charred inside. The Stanley itself might have still been
yes.
okay, but the handle would have been melted
Yeah.
and gone.
Oh yeah, because the handle is plastic.
because the
yes.
handle's plastic and the lid was plastic, and
Did Stanley
literally
send her a big old chunk of money? 'Cause they better have.
They did. They
Yeah.
did.
Sure.
From what I understand, they sent her a big old chunk of money or bought her a new car or something. But she came out with the Stanley. Look, my whole car burnt to the ground and my Stanley survived and it still has ice in it.
Honey,
and
you picked that thing up and got out of the car with it. Now you forgot you got out of the car with it.
yeah, I was, and then you rubbed it all over the
Yeah.
ash in your car, and you put it in the center console and took it. I don't believe any videos that come out anymore. Do you guys?
For the most part, no. Like,
I mean, it's so hard to believe somebody's video
Uh-huh.
unless one, if I see that little glitch in it, I know you just stopped and started again.
oh yeah,
I know you did. You would like take 2, take 100. I don't look hot enough. I don't look pretty enough. I didn't lie enough.
or I completely changed something. And and like make
here's my
a-
car on fire. Look,
Like,
my Stanley's inside.
I mean, I do a lot of reviews on things on TikTok, but like I try to be very careful that I don't have a filter on. Like make sure I don't have a filter on if I'm reviewing makeup.
oh yeah,
But technically, I will tell you, I don't. I can honestly say I don't put a filter on if I'm reviewing makeup. I want you to see what it does.
Oh, you
But-
mean like that one girl who doesn't even have her own voice?
But technically, you can record it with the filter on. You can save it and re-upload it, and it doesn't show that you had a filter on. If you post the one you have the filter on, it's going to say, like, there's one called Tan Skin, which looks horrible on me. Like, I'm like, whoa. But, like, that's just
Well,
one
because
that
you kind of have tan skin. That's the Indian blood in you.
Guess what I got in the mail yesterday
What?
for the TikTok review?
Self-tanner.
Tanning gummies.
What?
They're gummies, and they have the ingredients in it that help you tan, like, increase the melanin in your skin.
Oh, I'd be scared to be taking that shit.
I can be tan. In fact, Beth called me. My spray tan girl called me last week and said I get her dump cup is what I get. So, like, when she spray tans everybody, she's always got some left, and she pours it into a cup. And then because I don't really, like, I like being dark. I don't care. Like, yeah, whatever. And she'll call me. She'll go, I got a dump cup. You ready for a tan? Yeah. Which I have not had a tan since, I think I got one before I went on vacation in July. So
I've never done a spray tan. So how does a spray tan work?
Um,
Do you is it like being air sprayed with the tanner, or do you go into this booth and all the stuff sprays out at you?
both. That you can do both. The tanning place there beside Buff City Soaps here in town, they have a booth you can go in and you stand there. If you've ever seen the Friends episode, I'm sure you have, of Ross getting that. I'm a little afraid of those. I'm like, no, I would get the same side tan both times. Or you can go to someone that does tanning, or you can buy your own and do yourself. My friend that does tanning for other people, she does herself. I
Well,
don't really know how she gets
Emma
her
used
back,
to
but-
do it, and she has the glove thingy.
Yeah,
and
she like the mousse or whatever.
And she
Beth-
has a certain one that she uses,
Yeah.
and that's it. And when she was out over here, we had to go hunt down some stuff to try to get something that was as close to what she
Yeah.
uses in Denmark. And we got pretty good, but
But Beth has a kind of an airbrush kind of machine thing, and you can wear whatever you want. I usually just wear underwear. This is one of my best friends. But
Well,
you can
I
wear-
mean,
you can wear a
honestly, if you're
swimsuit,
gonna
you
do
can wear
it
whatever you want.
as close to the buff as possible
And,
to get
yeah.
it.
And she just sprays and like different things. She's like, hold your arm, turn your arm. She knows. You stand in a little pop-up little tent thing that so it doesn't get all over the walls and stuff. And then as hers, you can take it. The one that she uses, you can take a shower within like 2 or 3 hours, or you don't have to. Hers is all very natural ingredients that's in hers. I typically don't. So by the end of the day, I look like Snooki. I got one years ago. Was going to be in a wedding in New Orleans. So like we left on Thursday. I got one Thursday morning. We left on Thursday, and we drove down to South Mississippi. I love that area, and stayed in Ocean Springs down there in Mississippi. And so Mother and I drove down, and as the day goes on, I kept getting darker and darker and darker. And my mother's just like, "Are you sure your skin's okay?" And then that night she was like, "You gotta take a shower because you're scary." Like, she wouldn't even go out to eat with me because I got so dark. But then, like that, what they spray, it washes off of you. So don't get in the bathtub. I've made the mistake of doing that before. Like getting spray tan.
So then it'll be like marbled.
No, it's like taking a bath in tea.
No, I meant like, but when you get out, would your body look kind of marbled?
That's
Some
why
of
you
it's
have to
wiped
wait for the most part. Like
Okay.
for it to kind of set
So
in.
it gets like
and
the surface that's left off,
then it's what they spray
it's-
so they can make sure they get even.
So basically, isn't that just staining your skin? Is
No.
what it really is doing?
Because it does, it brings out the melanin, which is what makes you tan. So if you don't tan well,
I don't believe that.
if you don't tan well,
It won't work.
It will work, but you're not going to walk out of there looking like me. So to
I
say.
still believe it's more like a dye
Because it stays for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but it washes off.
But that's what
So when I got out of the shower, that had gotten darker all day long. Really?
But that's what henna is.
Yeah.
Henna is
Yeah.
this, it lasts. You can get henna that lasts 6 to 8 weeks.
I'll
And,
go get my spray tan and y'all can
but,
watch me.
But it's technically dye.
yeah. But I'm
now
real-
it's healthy and it's natural.
Yeah.
That's when I say
and
dye.
this is a lot more.
So it really
healthier
is.
than a tanning
It's
bed.
still a dye, but it's
guess.
a natural dye that helps. You know, it allows your melanin or whatever to react to the sun, but it's still a dye.
Oh no, you'll sunburn after a spray tan.
Yeah.
Like, don't get a spray tan
No, I
expecting
mean,
that
it
you can go to the beach and you ain't
No,
gonna
what
need
I mean,
sunscreen.
what I mean by it reacts, it brings out the coloring more if you're out in the natural light.
You don't even have to. Like, I can get one in the dead of winter that I'm not outside, and I can tell the significant difference.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
that's what I mean. Is it will react to your body.
Yeah.
It reacts to the light. it gets darker the longer you have it on. That's dye.
It gets
whether
lighter.
whether it's a natural dye or not is different. But
Yeah.
it still dyes your skin, and over time it washes off. And it takes, some of them can take, like henna is a dye, but it's all natural.
Right.
Because it's not meant to be harmful to the body. And if you did henna your whole body, you would have a tan.
Right.
But it's still a dye. It just takes time for it to wash off.
Yeah.
And depending on what the ingredients are in the henna is how long it'll last. You can buy really cheap henna and it lasts like a day.
Yeah.
But if you buy good, well-made, and it's the more natural ingredients that are in the henna when they make it, the longer it actually lasts than the chemical crap.
That's true with most things.
I've never done henna either.
That's true with most things in life.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, but you're a holistic girl over here. I'm like,
I have to say, a natural vagina lasts a lot longer than a store bought one.
I was like, I mean, like essential oils and vitamin. The
I'm
more
referring
natural
to
they
the
are,
TikTok
better.
that I got my designer coochie. Haven't you seen
I've
that
not
one?
I
seen
haven't
that.
seen that.
Oh
one.
my god, that one's hilarious. It's somebody that goes on there and says, all of you guys are, and I can't do her voice about how we're all jealous because I got a designer coochie.
I mean, did you
and-
bedazzle it or what?
Well,
Like,
because it was made, because it's not real, because they didn't have one. And then the girl watching, she's doing the stitch with the TikTok, and she comes on and she goes, "No, girl, what you got's a knockoff." See, when you buy Gucci and you get the real one, all the other ones are still called a knockoff. You may have paid a lot of money for it.
but it's a knockoff.
It's still a knockoff.
That's true.
And I'm like, 100%. Natural will last a lot longer. We don't have to go in and get the JJ tucks. I mean, you
my.
can.
You
But,
can. Yeah, but no. Okay.
Anyway, once again,
Squirrel. You gotta not hold your
How
hand
do we
in front
go
of
from
it.
Aunt Jemima to vaginas?
I gotta remember to do that and take the glasses off beforehand so I can see.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Or just wear the fucking thing because we're always scrolling.
We're always scrolling. Yeah, because I think I was mid-sentence and I went off on tanning because I am tanorexic. I am. I don't
Tanorexic.
I don't think I have a tan. I do. Like, I know I'm darker than most people, but I think I'm white.
So when you look in the camera
I look,
afterwards, you're like, wow, I am kind of dark. But
if I'm looking in just the mirror at home or like
you're
pull
like,
my pants
oh,
leg up, I'm like,
I need
oh,
some color.
those like, or see a picture of myself in like a dress with no.
Now,
like,
from what I
some-
understand, and with you having Indian blood, you tan much better than
I tan very easy.
Like I'm very white.
Yes.
I tan pretty good.
I tan pretty good though, but I am very white.
Yeah, I will.
I could scare ghosts out of the closet.
I get questionably dark by August of every year.
If you keep in the sun, which
And I do.
is where you live is in the sun.
I'm like, I have a pool, and
You live out by the pool?
in it. Yeah,
Yeah,
We live on the river in
every
the summer.
afternoon. Yeah,
yeah. I
my parents used to be on the river, and I miss river life. I do.
well, I love kayaking, so
Yeah.
of course I do that too. So a question about the I'm trying to remember because I had a question about it.
About her skin, about tanning,
About tanning.
Gummies.
About-
I don't know a lot about the
knockoffs.
tanning gummies. I just got them in the mail last night. And
So are
my
you
mail
gonna
lady
t-
was really late. She wouldn't.
Are you going to try them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think. Oh, that's what we were talking about, like filters and stuff. That I think that.
Oh yeah,
that's-
the filters.
Yeah.
So-
But you can if you download that video and then re-upload it,
It doesn't show the filter.
it doesn't show that you had a filter on it.
I know that one girl that she does YouTube, and she's got a lot of followers. 15 million or some shit, and she gets all these trips and money and all this stuff sent to her, all these products sent to her, and she's like the biggest liar. Like she does the makeup tutorials and stuff, and then people will call her out and go, well, it'd be nice to see that without the filter.
But they're still following her, and they're still giving her
commenting.
comment. And they're still giving
And
her.
she leaves the comment up there, and she's like, I don't use a filter. Oh, bitch, you do use a filter.
filter.
Like, I can see you use a filter.
Yeah.
You know, and I've taken a few pictures, and I've done the TikToks with the filter going, and I'm like, oh, I wish
My kid's school's calling. I'll be right back.
I wish I could see what that. Like, I would like to do that so that my makeup does look
like that.
because I'm not.
I have one. If I'm doing a non-makeup review, I use it every time on TikTok. I admit it. But I don't use it if I'm doing a makeup review because I want you to see what that does to my skin.
Well, it's not just her makeup review, like using a filter that softens it up and does
Yeah.
all that. It's the other fakeness that she does.
Yeah.
Like, look at this mascara, and then you see there's a different mascara in her hand.
Oh.
Like, okay,
Gotcha.
so and
I've
then
got one
and
right
then when
now.
she's called out on it because she didn't realize it was in the camera.
Yeah.
When she gets called out on it, she's like, "No, that's the one I was using for my bottom." Well, yeah, but you didn't do your bottom for another 5 minutes. What, you held that in your hand for 5 minutes while
Yeah.
you were doing your top, you were doing the shadow and all that stuff?
Yeah.
You were just holding that? No, you weren't. You liar. You're a liar.
I've got an eye cream right now that they keep sending me messages, of their deals and want me to do another review. And it's selling very well. Like I could probably sell some. I didn't like it. It didn't work for me.
Right.
So I'm not doing another one on it. I've got an eye cream I like, and I will advertise it all the time.
Well, and then she's done ones with the
Is everything okay?
mas-
She just wanted to make sure she could stay after school Monday for course.
Does she not know who was that?
It was Hennessy.
Oh, okay.
She's only 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hennessy, if it was Isabella, I'm going to call her.
Yeah. When the school calls, it
You
does
gotta
create
wonder.
a little work.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Speaking of Isabel and calling her out. So remember I told you she wanted to have girl come to our house?
Yes.
She didn't need to have girl come to our house. Evidently, some
Girl followed her.
No. Evidently, she had been talking smack about 2 other girls, and they went up to her at the lunchroom and were like, so, I heard you like to talk blah, 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 blah. And one of the girls took her lunch tray and threw it on the girl and dumped a carton of milk on her and got suspended for 3 days. And girl that was giving my daughter a hard time got sent home.
Oh.
Oh, interesting.
Okay,
Karma. And my daughter didn't have to do any of it.
squirrel again. And now we're going to talk for a second about bullies.
Definitely go back to bullies. That's a much better topic than makeup filters.
So my son was bullied by this kid at school every day, and he would come home and he's like, this kid was picking on him, and he would stop. I think he liked this girl, so he would stop at the playground on the way home. It was pretty close to the school, but it was an actual playground, and he would play for a little bit and continue meandering home. But when he got
you
home,
could do that back
Yeah.
then. You can't nowadays.
he was really upset, and this kid would throw rocks at him. and just really bully him. And he's now a Marine. But when he was a kid, he was really little, really tiny. Like, it took a long time before he got a growth spurt. And when he got his growth spurt, man, it was painful. Like, he woke up screaming at night because his growth spurts were so painful, because it was all of a sudden his body went like, oh shit, we forgot to grow. Let's, so he had really, really painful growth spurts. But he was really little. So this kid was just a real mean bully. So finally one day I said, if you see me, you don't know me. And he's like, okay. So I went out by the school and I stood and watched, and they came out, and I watched him go start his walk and go over to the playground, and this kid go over there and push him off the swing and then throw some rocks at him. And then, he would only take it so long, and then he's like, goes on his way, and this kid is throwing things at him as they're walking down the street. He crosses the street to walk on the other side of the street. The kid follows him across the street and is still picking on him, running up to him and hitting him and grabbing his backpack and doing all this stuff. And it continued and continued. Remember yesterday how I talked about the fact that I'm an asshole? Now, I'm not an instigator. I sometimes it appeared like I might have been an instigator, but I put an end to people's shit. What happened was, but I put an end to people's bullshit. And yes, quite often that ends up meaning that I was the one who threw hands first, but your mouth made me. Or whatever it was you did made me. In this case, your kid made me. Well, I couldn't go up and hit the kid.
Right.
Because that would be wrong. So I followed him. And then my kid finally went this way. And now he also followed me because he was like, all right, my mom. And he just stopped and waited. And he watched me follow that kid the rest of the way to the kid's house. Kid went to his door, went in the door. I walked up to the door and knocked on the door. Dad came to the door and I punched him in the face.
When you punched the dad?
Right in the face.
Okay.
And he was like, excuse me? I said, I figured your kid got it from somewhere. Like, if it's okay for him to just hit anyone and be mean.
The girl who bullied me
it's okay if I just hit you.
Me in high school, her parents were the best people. Her sister
it turned out
has been to my house within the last year. Like, I don't know where she got her bullying, but she was awful.
Well, it turned out to go okay, because at first the guy was like, well, I'm going to call the cops.
I'm pressing charges.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to call the cops. And I'm like, I'm right here. And he's like, oh, okay. Now what do I say?
Yeah.
And he was a firefighter.
Okay.
And so we ended up talking. I didn't hit him hard. I just hit him. And it's not like I wailed on him.
Yeah.
I just hit him. And I don't think I hit him in the face, actually. I think I hit him in the chest. But, I was trying to make a point. Like, your kid is a bully, and and my kid was not the only one he was doing it to. So I will note that.
Most of the time, they are doing it to multiple, like Isabel's.
Right. He was doing it to several kids. It was the rock throwing that pissed me off the most. It wasn't just that he was pushing them or whatever, but he was physically throwing rocks at people and sticks and taking their backpacks and throwing them on the ground. So the kid had to stop and pick it up. He didn't steal anything from them and run away or any of that, but and he legitimately had enough kids like crying and upset and scared and whatnot. Yeah. And so the dad called the kid down. Kid said, that bitch is lying.
Oh yeah, of course he did.
And the dad turned around and looked at him like, now I don't know if it was fake. It might have been like he was just putting on a show or something. But he's like, what did you just say? He's like, I said that bitch is a liar. And he's all, okay, you have a problem. This is a problem. And he's like, well, what solution do you have? I said, I have a good solution. And he's like, what's that solution? I said, he goes and packs a backpack and comes and stays with me for a weekend. And the dad's like, okay. He said, go pack your bag. You're going to her house for the whole weekend. And he's like, but she's a bitch. She's mean. And he goes, the fact that you even think it's okay to say that word in front of me tells me I've done a bad job. And I'm sure he got it because, and he admitted it later. He was, because we became friends after that.
Yeah.
But he said, I jokingly call my wife a bitch.
Yeah.
All the time. She calls me asshole. I call her bitch. It's not like a...
So the kid thought it was okay. Like it was an okay
it's
word.
a term of endearment in a sarcastic manner. We're very sarcastic. They were in New Jersey. They're very... some reason. I don't know when I think it just went out, but for some reason our mic went out for a minute. I don't know why, but it just decided it wasn't going to have a mic. Amanda, if you are watching, can you just let us know that you can still hear us, or when you turn on your volume and just make sure you can still hear us? But
Yes, we can hear.
oh, and what the hell?
Oh.
You know what really bugs me is when I go and I look and I see that I have one on, and I look up and I'm like, that was what I was wearing yesterday. So how did my one go to an old episode instead of the one that we're actually on? I don't get it.
I had a teacher in high school that kind of did a similar thing. A girl had moved into town and didn't like me. I had a lot of that in high school. But I was head cheerleader. I was just very outspoken. Like I've always been here I am. I always put my face out there. I was head cheerleader. Mm-hmm. And when the news came about the school situations about paying tuition, the principal would come and get me, and I was on the news a lot, like my junior and senior year. Like didn't ask to be, but my mother was on the city council. I could speak about it intelligently because I knew what was going on at the council meeting. So the principal always come and got me. So a lot of people did like me. But this particular girl was new at school, and the teacher knew that she didn't like me. We had a lab in that particular class, and that teacher said, Greta, why don't you and Jada go clean the lab together today? Go sweep. Because she knew that we actually would get along if it was just the two of us.
Yeah.
And so we got back there, and, she's like, so I don't remember what she asked, so, but, we kind of got to talking and realized we had a lot in common.
Yeah. Well, that kid came to my house for the weekend.
Yeah.
And his dad said, you're not coming home until she says you can go home.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not, he had a real attitude. He got to the house. He's like, where's your room? And he took him to his room, and he threw his book bag on the bed. And he said, this bed's mine. And he's like, no, the bed's not yours. It's my bed. And he's like, well, it's mine now. And I'm watching this kid. He was such a dick. And so Sam just started doing what he was doing. And he's like, and he just ignored him. And he was like, Mom, I'm going to go outside and ride my motorcycle. I didn't say the kid had to play with him.
Yeah.
I said he had to come to my house. Uh-huh. So he's like, you have a motorcycle? He's like, yeah, I have a little dirt bike. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, I have a 3-wheeler too. And he's like, oh, can I go outside with you? And he's like, no, I thought you wanted to just hang out on my bed.
Yeah.
And so now my son's getting a little bit of the cockiness, like,
because it's in his territory.
That's like the dog that you go to his house. Don't be dick.
Yeah.
Because the dog's gonna let you know this is my house.
That's my house.
So anyway,
Unless you're not, he's kind of a wuss.
so I did ask him.
He's so cute though.
Y'all.
Well, he probably would give you a word. He's given me a word when he didn't like a hat I was wearing. So
He's a scaredy cat. He
yeah,
really is.
he ain't gonna do nothing, but he might give you a word.
Yeah.
So the kid came into the kitchen. Can I have some water or something to drink? And I said, well, I have donuts. I have brownies and cookies. Do you want a brownie and milk or? Oh, yeah, okay. And so he got I set his plate right next to the window to look outside where my son was playing on the motorcycle. So he just sat there and he didn't even like touch the cookies or whatever it was. And he's just like looking out the window. And I said,
Man, that would be so much fun if I wasn't a douche.
yeah, I could be out there playing. I said, well, do you want to go out there with him? And he's like, can I? And I said, yeah, you can. I said, but we have rules. He needs to show you how to use it. You have to wear the protective clothes. There's a tub with stuff in it. You could just put those on, and you do what he tells you because he knows what he's doing. If you don't listen or if you're rude or whatever, he's going to tell you can't ride it because it's dangerous. Now, I made sure I was right there because, like, this kid hadn't been on one before.
Yeah.
Well, I think this kid was also scared, and oftentimes bullies are scared.
Yeah.
That's why they're
a
acting
protection
out.
mechanism.
And so he went out there, and Sam came over and helped him put on what he needed to. And the whole time I'm watching it, and the kid's like, well, what's this one for? He's like, that protects your arms and your elbows. And, if you fall off and you hit here, it's supposed to keep you from breaking anything. I can break a bone. Yeah, you could if you fall.
Yeah.
You can.
Don't pay attention.
If you're not listening and you go too fast or you hit something, you could fall off.
You
or
can break a bone
you could
throwing my book bag on the ground, but anyway.
yeah, that too. But yeah, you can. And so you do have to be careful, and you have to do it. Okay, so he, at that point, was now, whatever you say,
Yeah.
you are the Almighty. Teach me, Yoda.
Yeah.
I mean, it was totally like, it reversed how his mentality was.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam was so nice in how he was teaching him and showing him, which is a staple for him. When he was a ski instructor for many, many years, his favorite ones to teach were the kids that have disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
He loved teaching them because he had the patience of a saint.
Mm-hmm.
The kids that were able-bodied,
They already know how to do it. They're going to do it their way.
well, and he hated them because they were rude, they were disrespectful. My dad's taking me skiing, and he's like, yeah, but you don't know how.
Yeah.
So he hated those kids. But the ones who needed help, he was so patient with, and they were so appreciative of the help. So he had the skill when he was 7 years old, because that's how he was being with this kid. Very explanatory, very helpful. And even when he finally got the kid to get on it, and you could tell the kid was scared. But when he finally got the kid on it and he showed him, okay, here's the throttle. You only do just a little bit. And remember this, if he's going through it, and hold the clutch and you just let it out a little bit. And he's showing him behind him, standing next to him. And he's holding his hand so his hands feel how you're doing it, which is a great way to teach somebody.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then the kid was like, okay, he's like, do you feel comfortable? Yeah, okay. And he took off a little bit, and he stopped, and he got scared and fell over, and he's like, yeah, well, if you stop, it only has two wheels, so it's gonna fall.
Yeah.
You have to put your feet down. And after one day, and by the end of that day, they went out and played again the next day. He was just running the little track that we had and having a ball with him.
Uh-huh.
And they became really good
They
friends.
became good friends.
And when we moved from there, that was the hardest part because they had to stop being friends. And they had.
Showing. Sorry, y'all.
I
didn't notice.
I don't know what that's called. I know when you show your ass, we make you twerk. What do we make you do for the titty show?
I think I should get beats. Can I get more? Got beats with it?
we should start keeping some of those in here. But okay, so
Sorry. Squirrel
back.
I mean, I did. I looked up. Like,
no, I'm saying
my
we're going
shirt's
to
too big.
swirl back to what the topic was to begin with. Like you started with the Aunt Jemima, taking the statues down, all the different changes. So when you hear about those things, that's, I guess, the question really is, when you hear those things, I find them disturbing.
Yeah.
Do you just go with the flow and be like, okay, it's no big deal, or do you fight back? And I left that part out of it. It was, do you go with the flow? Do you whimper and cry and crawl into a ball, or do you fight back against change?
I mean, it depends on what it is, because, like, I really didn't have a say-so in the Aunt Jemima thing.
Right.
Like,
well, nobody had a say.
Right.
But it's also how they're bringing some
So I
things
just kind
back.
of had to take it, I guess.
Well, I think the people who and I guess that's one of those things, because they are talking about now. They're apparently, I don't know if it's for sure, but I was watching a video just the other day that they are now voting to bring back the Redskins.
What?
Yeah, and changing the name back and bring.
What are they called now that they're not the Redskins?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember what they called them.
It's okay.
It was the Washington. It was just Washington.
Apples.
No, there's no name to it. It was like Washington football team.
Oh, okay.
Like they didn't get. As far as I remember, they didn't like give them a
the
name.
name. Okay.
But it was the natives who
Washington Commanders.
Washington Commanders. Okay. So from what I understand, they are the ones who have been fighting with some kind of coalition or whatever, that they want their name back.
Okay.
And apparently, also the original picture that they used for the Redskins was an old chief. And that's the image they used. So they were really pissed that you took it away from us.
Took it away, yeah.
Because that's a area that had a lot of natives. And you gave us this. And then now you take it away because it's racist. It's honoring us.
Yeah.
It's honoring us. It's honoring our culture. You took our land. You took
Sure, it
this.
was
You
a
took
white
that.
person that
And then every time, if you do the research, every time something happens, that's all this virtue war. We're so wonderful because we're going to do this for you because you can't do it for yourself. That's racist, people.
Yeah.
When you assume that you need to do it for them, it's
That's
racist.
Have you seen the Matt Walsh "Am I Racist" thing?
I have not watched it yet. I need to actually watch it.
I've not watched it in its entirety, but
I've
I've
watched
seen.
pieces and parts of it.
I saw a part of it.
But I actually have the membership, so I can actually watch it.
I think Tori's getting sick because if I'm not cold and she is, yeah.
No, it's probably my hot flashes and my menopausal shit. Because I'm
so
hot,
cold.
and then I'm all of a sudden I'm cold again, and I'm like, I'm just ignore me. I put it on and take it off.
Anyhow, in one of the videos that he shows, he says his daughter really likes Moana, and the lady he's interviewing says that's awesome. It's good that she's not veering towards white princesses. And he's like, but where do we draw the line? And the girl's like, I mean, it's just great. So he's like, so that means that it's okay for her to dress up as Moana? No, she's white. She can't dress up as an islander. Well, why not? Because she really likes Moana. And evidently that makes this little 4 or 5 year old girl racist because she wants to be her and wants to dress up like her. And I was like, I really need to see the rest of this because I don't.
That's
Well, I'm trans rich, so
that's not making. It's not computing.
no.
when it's
And
like
you can't call a child. You can't say a child is racist
Well, and
That's one of the most beautiful things about a child is
is they don't see color.
they don't see color. I mean,
They see
one of the most,
yes,
yeah.
but they don't see a difference.
No.
So when I was a kid, I think it was probably like second or third grade or something like that. I had the funnest friend in the world, and she happened to be black. I didn't know it. I don't care. I didn't care. Her name was Fifi.
She just had a good
And
time.
I will never forget this for the rest of my life because it became a thing, and we had no idea what we were doing would have been considered racist. We used to swing on the monkey bars. What are they called? Monkey bars. Right?
Yeah.
So we would swing on the monkey bars, and we would make monkey faces, and we would make faces. We'd hold our ears out, and well, she did it to her parents,
And they got mad.
and they thought I was making her pretend to be a monkey because she was black.
Oh no!
But you did it too.
I did it too. We both did it. We would hang upside down with our knees and make the faces at each other and
Yeah.
scratch our heads and scratch our armpits and swing and so this particular day I brought bananas to school for me and her and I hid them because you're not supposed to take food out on the playground, but I hid them because I wanted us to eat monkeys off the monkey bar.
Ate bananas at the monkey bar. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took them out to she came home and told her parents that I brought us bananas, and we hung from the monkey bars playing like monkeys and eating bananas. And her parents went ballistic because they took it as I was making fun of her looking like a monkey. And I was like, I didn't even understand.
You didn't even understand it.
I didn't even understand.
she
what
didn't
had
either.
happened. And I bet she didn't either. You know, we just were never allowed to play together again. Like it came all the way to the school. Like if we were seen together, they were to separate us because I was a racist. And I was like, and it has affected me my whole life. Like I've always thought about that, like innocent things that can just be fun. And you know, the racism thing I think bothers me more than anything else out there, because I look at it like if you're a true racist, like KKK hat holding, you know, racist, which ironically, y'all know my best friend's name's Kimberly. Why did I say that? It's her middle name. Kristen. Her initials are KKK.
Oh no.
Yeah. So she used to play on that all the time. But anyway.
I mean, I know people that are. I know people that are card-carrying members.
Oh, I know people that are full on racist, and you can tell.
Card-carrying KKKs.
Oh, I don't know about. I don't have any of those. Well, you're from the South.
There's
so,
lots in this area.
and that would be believable.
Yes.
And those people are now. The difference is, and this is where I look at it. If you're really racist, you aren't going to break bread with any of those people. And I mean those people by anyone that has any melanin in their skin. You are not breaking bread with them. That is not just black, Asian, Mexican. It's also Jewish. It's Muslim. It's anything other than Anglo-Saxon white. You're not even Italian. Many of them consider Italians the same way. So
And most of them, if they went on that ancestry show that we talking about, they'd get a shocker.
exactly.
Shocker.
Exactly. So most of them are real racist. They wouldn't break bread with you. And so when
They will not shop at stores
where you're at,
that are owned by.
owned by, yeah. And that's true. That's why I think personally, if you're a business and you're a racist or a anti-gay or whatever, you should put a sign up in your window. You might still have customers. I don't know if you'll have enough to keep you in business, but put it out there for the world to see. That way I can make the decision of where I want to shop or whatever. But But you're not going to break bread with people like that. You're not going to hold hands with them. You're not going to, if there's a group of people standing together and it's like, okay, let's do a prayer and hold hands. If that person's next to you, you're going to put your hand aside saying, I'm not holding hands with that person. You might try to fake it with them being in the room, but you're not going to touch them.
Most of them I know would not. A lot of them would leave.
True.
If it was even
true. So, and an example of that is when I was a medic, there was a gang shooting, and we showed up. The guy who was on the ground, he was shot 7 times. My partner with me, he was the paramedic. I was not a paramedic yet. I was just an EMT still. I'm sorry, not just an EMT. I was an EMT at that point. I was not a paramedic yet. And so my paramedic was black. And the dude on the ground is like, he don't touch me.
Mm-hmm.
He is not touching me.
I can
And
imagine that.
I'm like,
My brain can't.
I'm like,
fathom
dude,
I know people that are that way.
you were shot 7 times. Well, we didn't even at that point know how many shots he had. He's like, he does not touch me. Well, we have to have permission.
Yeah.
Like, I can't I said, dude, you're gonna die. He's like, I'd rather die than have that N-word touch me. And I was like, are you seriously would rather die than have him touch you? He can help you. He can save your life. He's like, I don't care. He doesn't touch me. And I was like, okay, so I tried to roll him over to see if there was exit wounds, see if I could, and I'm doing everything I can in my power. And then he finally went unconscious. I'm like, well, he's unconscious now. And that's consent. So he went to work on him as soon as he was he did die. The dude died on the way to the hospital.
sheer ignorance.
Because his racism, that's a sign of true racism.
Mm-hmm.
If you are willing to die on that hill, you are a racist. But if you're just like, you know, you can even not like people that are different than you. But if you're still willing to have a conversation with them, sit down with them, maybe get to know them, maybe become friends with them, eat bread with them, and do things, you're not a real racist. So these people who are out there that just say we're innately racist, or, you know, no, we're not. You know, they don't understand what the actual definition of racism is.
I say mother. A neighbor of my mother's thought that anybody who did not vote for Obama was racist.
Mm-hmm.
That did not vote for him. Just because I chose the other candidate, I was racist.
Well, you know,
nothing to do with color of skin.
Why are we electing anyone based on the color of their skin?
That shouldn't even be in the equation.
I thought Martin Luther King wanted us to judge people based on our content of our character, not the color of our skin.
Yeah.
You know, and now we're reversing that.
It's so reversed.
Let's judge each other by the color of our skin. Let's segregate.
That's exactly
Like,
what we're doing.
why are we going backwards? We need to be going forward. I mean, there's always going to be that problem. But me, I will defend, but I defend the right for those who are racist to be loud and proud. I don't think they should be in the hidden corners. I don't think they should have to hide their racism. I think they should be loud and proud about how racist they are. That way they can determine who their friends are. Because I'm a conservative, and I belong to a lot of little groups and stuff. And I will tell you, somebody will come on there. This girl, I know, I don't know her, but she posted a picture of her daughter going to prom in one of our political groups. And the kid that was in the picture with her was a black young man. And they were going to prom together. They were adorable. He looked so good. He was so handsome, and she looked so pretty, and they had such a cute picture together. And there was a dude that came on and said, you should be ashamed of yourself for letting her go out with that thing. Man, good on you. Be out and proud about it, because we all came at him like daggers. We all went after him like, you are a piece of shit for you saying that. You saying that about that kid. You saying that about the mom. You saying that about the daughter. And I mean, he added a few more things to it. Watch out, because he'll knock her up with a half breed and then run away and not take care of the kid and stuff. And
You know how many white people do that?
lots of them. But I'm like, be loud and proud about it, because then we can know who you really are, and we can choose to be friends with you and break bread with you, or we can choose to say, you know what, I don't want to be like you, and I don't want to be a part of that.
I got a phone call from someone that I know today, was actually in Tuscaloosa with some friends of mine. So they were black. Most of them were. Was down there, in Tuscaloosa, and my phone rang. And I was like, what are you doing calling me? You know I'm in Tuscaloosa. Picked up the phone. What the hell are you doing down there with all them ends? That's what was said when I said hello. And I went, hold on a second. I'm going to walk outside. And I
Have this conversation.
dog cussed by this person that I truly love. Have thought a lot of for many years. You know what that looks like. You were raised better than that. I know I'm down here with a lot of friends that are really good people.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't like the way that looks. Sorry. That's where I am, Are you safe? I was like, yeah. I'm 100% safe. Yeah. I'm 100% safe. Last night we walked from the apartment over to the strip, and they even walked on the outside of the sidewalk as a man should. Yeah, I'm safe. I'm good. I got dog cussed by this person because I was in Tuscaloosa with black people.
Now, are you still friends with him?
Yeah.
You're still acquaintances, not wouldn't consider friends.
Yeah. Some things have changed through the years. We were neighbors. We're really not anymore. Kind of thing.
Well, and I equally, I don't think you should, necessarily stop being friends with somebody who is blatantly that way. Mm-hmm. Continue being who you are and let them be who they are. And they'll either eventually come your direction, or you'll just kind of fade apart.
Chose to not speak about that, and those friends were not ever allowed around this group of friends.
Sorry, that was loud. I have had this horrible couple hangnails on my fingers that are so bad. They're bothering me so much that I had to bring clippers down here, because yesterday I kept fiddling with them, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop fiddling with them. Have a thing here so I can just clip them off when I need to. But it's the thing that bothers me, I guess, the most about all of this change that has happened over the last few years on this are these virtual signaling people who have no, they don't have any real
skin in the game,
and they have no real experience.
Yeah.
They talk about the money aspect too. I mean, that's another part that they are all about. We need to, share our money with everybody. If you're rich, they should be taxing the rich by, 90%, and they should be sharing. Those are the people that give you people jobs.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for these big companies that have big companies that can hire people, you wouldn't have jobs to pay for the things that you want to pay for. And if you're going to tax them, like somebody said, they should be taxing Elon Musk 90% for his Tesla company. Then he would go out and close the company, and then all those people that work for Tesla would be out of a job and not have a job. So, why would you want to do that? They make the money, and what has Elon Musk done? Every time he's had something successful that has made him a lot of money, he's taken that money and built another company.
Yeah.
And then he builds another company. And he doesn't just say, ooh, look, I made all my money, and now I'm going to go and roll like what's his name? Scrooge McDuck, and just roll in my money. No, he takes that money and he goes and builds another. Like Elon Musk. He lives in like a 3-bedroom house.
Oh, really?
A very modest 3-bedroom house. In I think the house that he bought in Texas is like a very modest 3-bedroom house. His child was really upset about the money thing and thought, you should be giving back and you should be doing this and you should. He sold all his properties because he did not want to be that person. So he now, like, from what I understand, other than his baby mom, now he has multiple baby mamas because he's trying to reproduce for the whole world.
Or lots of women trap him.
No, he does it on purpose. He
Okay.
wants to. He wants to breed little geniuses.
Okay.
So he has multiple baby mamas of his choosing, from what I understand. I've read a
What
lot.
in the ditty is that?
Yeah, what in the ditty is? I like that new phrase. What in the ditty is that shit? But he uses it to build
Thank
more.
God Diddy didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Oh, could you imagine all the ditties running around?
Did you see that Diddy's a clone now?
Oh,
The one that's in jail is a clone because he doesn't have the mole or
oh,
whatever.
I tell you what, the conspiracy thing. I mean, I'm equally as pissed off at the right people that are far right, that are so like the Abercrombie, or not Abercrombie.
I can't say
Yeah.
it. Bitch.
Abercrombie.
Yeah,
Is that it?
Abercrombie.
Right.
The eating of baby blood to stay young. No, we wouldn't have any children. There would be no children available if that was a real thing. Racism is a real thing. And if you see it and you stand up against it and you walk away, that does not mean you're a racist. Because you have money doesn't mean you don't care about the poor. Just because you think that Aunt Jemima should be allowed to be on her syrup, and is it syrup or syrup?
Syrup.
Syrup.
I'll say syrup.
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 But
Syrup.
allowing that person to represent that brand is not racist. It's empowering. It's iconic and it's empowering. Like, I never looked at that and went like, oh, she served me that syrup. No, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that you see in life that are, important for culture, important for people to see that, hey, we still have a voice in the game. We still have skin in the game, Redskins. I mean, like, let them have their name because they're being represented. And if there is a change needed, and there should be something done about whether it's a monument or a brand or whatever, then that should be brought up by the person or the entity in itself that is doing it. If that's
like her family,
if her
should have
family
said,
was the
yes.
ones who came forward and said, we don't want this because we feel like this is what it's doing, then they should have bought them out and gave them a whole boatload of money and moved forward.
Yeah.
But that's not who came forward. And the people who own these companies and own these brands and own this stuff, that they're wiping them out, and it's white people. It's these virtue signaling white people that own the brands or own this stuff, that they're claiming, we can't have voter ID because it's racist, because they don't know how to get driver's licenses and have IDs. No, that's
No.
that's not how this works.
No, my grandmother could not read or write. She could write her name, but she couldn't. But she had a driver's license.
But is it not racist to automatically assume they don't know how to use computers and they can't get an ID? That's a pretty racist statement right there.
Yes, and they let somebody assist her to get her driver's license. Because there was like a written part of test.
Well, it depends.
But
Your grandmother, how old was she? I don't know. Because okay, so my mom's 84. Is she older than my mom, or would she be?
Yeah, she would have been.
Okay.
Yeah. She died when I was 30.
She didn't need to take any.
Okay.
No, my mom was just explaining this the other day.
Okay.
When she turned 16 to get a driver's license, she went to the local drugstore and they just gave her one.
Oh.
They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to take driver's tests. They didn't have to have
My
driver's
grandmother went with me when I took when I took my driver's test. She went with me that day. Like I drove her there, took my test, and when we left, she went, "I can't believe you passed. I didn't think you were going to get your license today. Thanks, Mama Day. Thanks." But she's also the same grandmother who told me when I broke up with that guy that it was my last chance. Her positive attitude was very low.
but when you think about it from that perspective, you know, we think that everyone has had to take a driver's test, and that's not the case. My mom's like back in the. My mom was born in 1940, so if anybody was born in that era, they never had to take a driver's test, and that was national. Yeah. It didn't matter where you were; you just walked in, and I think you had to write on a. She said you had to write like on a card your name, your date of birth, and your address, and you handed it to the drugstore clerk, and they gave you a driver's license.
And I said she could write her.
Buy one at the drugstore. They usually say backseat driver or something.
She could write her name, but she couldn't. In fact, my mom, y'all know I believe in spirits and stuff. My mom had a dream this week. And my mom is not a person who believes in this, but I was at my mom's house this week and she said, "So I had a dream last night." She was very nervous to tell me this. And I said, "You did?" She said, "Mama come to visit me." And I said, "Really?" She said, in that dream, she said, she was writing down things that she wanted us to know. And I said, she said, "You know, Mama couldn't write." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "So everything you remember about this dream, Mother, you need to write it down. But I need you to write it down because there's a message she wants you to know." And she was very clear that she was writing it down, that she wants you to remember something from that dream.
Yeah.
And so Mother's been trying, like she's like, "Okay, I'll get me a book and I'll write it down." So, and I'm very proud of her for that.
Well, I think it's good to have some of that stuff because, like, my mom has some really cool stories, and you know, she's 84. She's not going to remember everything, and she's also not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
And I would love to write some of her stories down.
Now, there's a book you can buy. I told you I have the grandmother one. There's a one you can buy for your mother.
Mm-hmm. I've seen those.
And the one that I had that I gave my mother, that she gave me back 12 years later, and it's split into 12 months, and you only do one entry a week. Yeah. Anyway, but it is very simple. There is legit four for each month, but wouldn't have to split it into months. If she wanted to work on one a day, that she could get it done.
Well,
But it asked the question.
I did buy her one of those books,
Okay.
and it asks the question, and you just have to fill it out. I just need to honestly stop, breathe, and take the time because my mom's blind, so she can't
Okay.
write and do that. So I need to sit down with her. But she has too big of a story. I'm a writer. I have a degree in. I have a master's in creative writing, so I am a legit writer.
Yeah.
and award-winning writer.
Where's your button?
That's more accurate. Yeah. Oh, I need the crowd.
I have to look to get it to you. We need something. We need a conveyor belt.
Oh. Okay, Steve. We need a pulley system to run it across the way over here. I do have somebody that I'm going to be having come in this next week, or maybe I think I'm meeting her on Saturday. She wants to learn some of this stuff.
Okay.
Because I said if we were going to bring in a fifth person, it's only because I want somebody to either take over my spot or where I talk less. I don't know if that's even possible. Someone will have to cut my mic. But so that I legitimately have another person, because if I'm out and Amanda's out, Alicia looks at me already with the I ain't doing it.
I can turn a light on.
And
That's about
as you
it.
tell, I sit down the one day that Amanda was running late and had like struggle bus. Like,
Well,
I got the cameras to turn on, and I can turn the light. So
cut,
we're done.
because y'all make fun of me because I say cut the cameras on.
have you seen the chick who does the videos that says I ain't doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to look her up. She's funny. But that's the exact look I saw on your face when I said that, and it
Not
was
it.
like I ain't doing it.
Not it.
But yeah, I mean it's legitimately like we have to have somebody who is an addition, because if Amanda's out, I'm
I
supposed
love
to not
like,
be on camera. I'm supposed to like.
you were saying that about being a writer. The book I have of my grandmother's, I love seeing her her handwriting is immaculate. It's like she had
Oh
the most
yeah, my
beautiful-
mother has
yeah.
chicken scratch.
And I understand your mother's blind and she can, but I love that it's verbatim of her thoughts.
Right.
Like,
Well, so what
there's no other creative in there. It's verbatim her thoughts and her beautiful handwriting, and you can tell it in my book too. I actually gave my grandmother that book, her birthday, which was November 24th of one year, and I got it back on my birthday, June 9th.
Oh, that's
I got it back that quick, but you can tell in the book her handwriting deteriorating.
right. Oh. Well, I have thought about taking a recorder and I have digital recorders and taking them up there and just recording the stories with my mom, reading the question,
Read
and
the
then
question,
just
yeah.
record her
That would be
answer,
beautiful,
and
yeah.
then I could go back and write it. And
Yeah.
I don't want to add the creative writing
Right.
part of it, but the reality is a good memoir has creative writing.
creative writing, yeah.
You take their stories and then you add to that and then tell a story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then to keep it as honest and authentic as possible, you don't necessarily change the story. You keep the story.
You add the creative word.
You add the creative imagery,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
to speak. So I've thought about that. Even my dad, my dad's story is, and I want a tattoo of their story.
Yeah.
So, I do. I want my whole back done.
I love
my dad
that.
was a race car driver, so I want the racing on the bottom. My mom was a pilot. Not only was my mom a pilot and an instructor pilot and flew commercial airline, and but she was also a smoke bomber pilot or spotter pilot for fires back in the 60s. That was like one of the most dangerous jobs for firefighting, and my mom did that. And that's not a normal female
Right.
position back then. And so I want to have burning trees on the back with a plane flying through, and I want my Tahoe on there. So it's a big piece. So it's going to be like I'll be 100 before I ever get it done, because it's going to cost an awful lot.
It's going to cost a lot of sessions and healing and go back and have sessions and yeah.
Exactly. It's gonna take time. So
Yeah.
but
You might want to get started on that.
yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, the whole point is that we have a lot in this country to be thankful for, and we have a lot of changes that I don't think are necessary.
Right.
I agree.
I think that we need to keep the history, keep the bad stories right along with the good stories.
That's how we learn.
That's how we learn how to adjust, and it's how we learn tolerance, and it's how we learn compassion, and it's how we learn acceptance, and it's how we learn to be kind to our brother, be kind. And when I say brother, we're all the human race. We're all people. And there are bad people in every ethnicity, every family.
Alicia posted a thing on Facebook the other day and it said, "What does this country need?" or something, but that's the gist of it. And my word was unity.
We
Like
absolutely
everybody, there's love and peace. And
Well,
I was like,
and to be
unity.
honest with you, there were so many people on all the sides that voted for Trump this time, because they are seeing that he is trying to bring people together. And there are people who obviously do not like him and will not change, and that's fine. what I would like to implore out to those people is I love you anyway.
You don't have to
I will
like
embrace
somebody
you
for
anyway.
them to do a good job at what they do.
Exactly. I don't like everything he says or does, but I want him to do good for our country. And I will accept you and love you no matter what your political, religious, or orientation or any of that stuff is. I will love you anyway. I will embrace you anyway. I will accept you anyway. And I will be respectful to you no matter what your position is. And that goes for the gay, the straight, the trans. As long as you are respectful to me, I will be respectful to you back.
And to children.
And children are our future.
I think like
Literally.
trans, like the ones that want to be in the bathroom with the little girls, problem with you. I do. Yeah.
The making kids change like that, I think is dangerous. If they're 18 and they still feel that way and they want to do that, 100%, I support your decision.
You boo boo.
You do you, boo boo. That's fine. And I will be respectful and courteous about it. I'm not going to be disrespectful to anyone about that. And I don't agree with anyone being disrespectful about it. There's a way to be respectful and still not agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I will call Caitlyn
Bless your
Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner. I don't know how I will call them by their name, but I don't know how easy it is for most people to change that pronoun thing. And I think the pronoun thing is so out of control. You know, like I'm a grammar person.
I don't understand the they. You're one person. You're not multiple. So
I mean, that's considered a mental illness if you have multiple personalities.
I don't. That's
Amanda.
I have a hard time with that. Yes, Amanda.
I call
Amanda, Mandy.
Amanda.
I mean, I legitimately know that I have multiple personalities, but I know them all. And sometimes we have a fight. And I'm not sure who wins. But on that note,
Anywho's,
See you
embrace
tomorrow.
change, I think, but be cognizant of it. And
Unify in the good.
yeah, let's change for the better. If we're going to change for the better, that's the better way to go. Can I say better one more time?
Better.
On that note,
better.
please remember to like, subscribe,
Follow,
and go to our YouTube channel. Because, yeah, we are sort of trying to grow this YouTube channel, and I don't think it's grown by maybe one person in the last month.
Just go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and like and
But
follow
if you want to come see us,
and subscribe.
we might squirrel around.
We're going. We might. We're going.
There's no mind about it.
There is no mind about it.
No.
Anyway, peace out, everybody. Embrace change and change in your heart to have unity and love your neighbor. That's what I have to say. Yeah,
Is that wrong?
Yeah.
Am I doing this wrong?
That's the heart.
Yes.
That's the heart. All right. Love y'all. Bye. We'll see you again tomorrow on the same same squirrel channel, same squirrel time. All right.